So essentially, almost every manufacturing organization is open to getting AS9100 or ISO 9001. They're two very different quality standards. ISO 9001 is kind of your base quality standard, and then AS is specific to the aerospace industry. So it kind of elevates how long you need to keep records, things like that. It is a process that anybody can go through, and basically it's a double check and universal way of figuring out, do I have processes in place? Do I have safety measures in place? And do I keep records so that if anything happens, I can essentially go back and figure out what went wrong, why it went wrong, and up that and increase that view behind that quality standard. So to achieve either certification, it is really a lot of documentation. So you go through almost a year of documenting processes, creating procedural maps, delegating responsibilities. And essentially what you have to do is every aspect of your company, down to the smallest degree, has to be documented and understand where that specific process or that specific procedure works in the grand scheme of things. So you do a whole lot of documentation, and then actually a lot of companies will have a outside company come in and do what we call an audit. So they'll go through as if you're applying for AS9100 or ISO 9001 certification, and they'll check all those policies and procedures, and they'll go through it and they'll go, okay, hey, this isn't quite enough information. We need a little bit more information here. You'd have to come up with objective evidence of how you use these processes and procedures in your daily business. And then ultimately you go up in front of a ISO or an AS9100 specific auditor, and they go through what's called a full audit stream. They literally look at every single document you make, look at all of your objective evidence, and look at how you run your business day to day to finally get you the approval stamp of you can now be certified in one of those disciplines. So I have heard very few companies that'll do this in less than a year. Pretty much you've got, a year of just getting all your ducks in a row before you will ever even get the information to become certified. So there's a little bit of that. You usually need about 3 to 6 months of actually working under your potential ISO or AS standards, so that you can come up with that objective evidence to prove that, hey, we've had these different events happen, we've had returns, we've had things go wrong on the manufacturing floor, and we followed these processes, and here's the proof that I actually am following these processes, and I'm working on this level before you can ever be certified. So I would say typically it takes 1 to 3 years, depending on how much the company wants to push it. And I believe you can actually do it faster than that. But it would be very smaller companies and a lot fewer and far in between. Most of the companies that are going, or 1 year is a pretty quick turnaround time. Most of these companies have been working under these policies for 3 to 5 years before they ever actually go for the certification.